Right, welcome to part 2 of the Mariner 50 powerhead changeover. I've taken the flywheel off and exposed the stators and coils. And what I had trouble with earlier on, or the other day, was splitting the powerhead. I don't know whether it corroded on the location dowels or just stuck on the gaskets. But what I did right or wrongly was I stuck a couple of the bolts back in there, got a lot of thread in there, so I just left about, I don't know, 4mm, 5mm showing. As I say, there's a good 15mm of thread in there, so I screwed it in to leave about 5mm out. And what I did then is I beat it mercifully with a big sledgehammer. No, I didn't hit it that hard. I just hit it, give it a couple of big wallops with a lump hammer, and that broke the seal then on the gasket. Not that one, sorry, on top, inside there. Get my fat hand out of the way. And now the powerhead's come loose. So I did it both sides. I might try the front, or I think it's come free now anyway, so I should be alright. So now they're off, I should be ready to lift off the powerhead. So I'll come back to you in a minute because I need 2 hands. Yes, I know, I must get a camera mount. Oh, and gaskets come today, by the way, so everything works out just fine with timescale. But I'm not sponsored by this company, but if there's any people in the UK and they want an alternative rather than Mariner prices, then this company is really good. I bought it off eBay, and I think this gasket was £12, and I got it 2 days later. So if you want to use it, good company. I've had quite a few gaskets off them, so you can give them a call. Okay, right, going over. Got the powerhead off, and that's the bottom of it. And as I say, it lifted off quite easy and it was quite light. So I'm in 2 minds, curiosity whether to strip the engine down to see what is actually broken on it. Should I do it? Yeah, alright then. Let me just get this gasket cleaned off, and I'll see if I can strip this down, and we'll come back and see what's wrong with it. I'll just show you on the top. I took the metal casing off, so I'll give that a clean, and the rubber gasket, which I must remember to put back on. And that's the top of it. Again, it's real shit in there, so I'm going to clean that up. And also I think I'm going to take a wire wheel to this as well, clean this up, get some of this rust off, and give it a quick coat of Amorite, something like that. So it looks disgusting. So I'm going to do that then. I'm going to get a wire wheel on that. I'm going to get some white spirit on that, and a paintbrush, clean all in there, and I'll block all that up when I start. Get the wire wheel on it, because otherwise we shit everywhere. And I don't want stuff going down, maybe in the impeller and stuff. Okay, I'll come back to you in a bit. better. I'll just do the inside in a minute. But the only bonus, I guess, remember a shitty engine is full of grease and shit, is that it preserves it and it can come up clean. So I'll dry it off with the airline in a minute, and then I'll spray some lithium grease over it after I've got the wire wheel to that rusty bracket. I wonder why they do that in cast. Why don't they do it in aluminium? I'm sure it'd be lighter and just as strong, but I don't suppose it cost. And that's clean as well, and clean the gasket down. So I'll come back to you again in a bit. Right, got a can of white lithium grease, cheapy off eBay. I think I bought about 10 cans for about 15 quid or 18 quid or something. But what I'm going to do, I'll coat it all in there now with white lithium grease. And just to preserve everything and stop it rusting anymore, obviously on this shaft, so it goes in fine. And also I can stick the gasket on there and it will help seal it. Let's hold it in place. I'm sure people say don't use white lithium grease to seal it, but today I am. So might as well give it another coat on this side. Like snow foam. Right, okay, and there's my new power head. I'm gonna have to do a few modifications on it because it's got a later type stator on there to mine, so I'm gonna have to put my electrics on there and my flywheel, and then the carbs. I'm gonna whip them off in a minute, and I'm going to give them a bath in the white vinegar and ultrasonic cleaner. So I've been standing probably for a couple of years, so I'm going to plop that on in a minute and I'll take a picture of that, and then I'll come back to you when I'm whipping the carbs off. Power head's all bolted on. Give it a quick clean up. Actually, I'll bolt that down in a minute, that plate back on. Right, in a minute I'm going to take these carbs off, going to get them in the cleaner, strip them down. What I need to do as well is I need to take this stator off, as it's a modern one. I've got a flywheel for it and the electrics are different, and there's a coil pack missing as well. So I'm going to take all these electrics off and I'm going to swap it over and put mine on, because the block should be the same. So I'll come back to you in a little while, another update. Right, there's the engine stripped down, crankshaft taken out. If you can see in, I think it's the top cylinder, yeah, number 1 cylinder, it's chewed up all around there and around there. What it's done, bring it back over, there's the crankshaft and the pistons. There's the top ring which is floating around, and there's the top lip of the piston. See, it's taken the lip off from the top ring. You've got a lot of score marks on there, so I don't know whether it's like heat seizing, it's just binding up in the cylinder. But as I say, it's top of the piston's gone, and that's what was clonking. Obviously the bits of piston and the ring, whether it's caught in the port or top head, I don't know. But funny enough, the crankshaft looks alright. The big ends look alright, journals of main bearings, conrods. there's a bit of me would love to throw it back together, hone the bore out, grind off them broken bits at the bottom, and polish the pistons up, stick a set of new rings in there. It'd be interesting to see if it still go, but I haven't got the time and I can't be asked taking off the gasket and getting a new gasket for it. But I'm sure the crankshaft will go again, and maybe it'll service another engine sometime down the line, or I'll stick it on the eBay and sell it. But that's where we are, and that's why the other engine was locking up. But still a mystery why it was why it detonated the top of the piston. I'm wondering whether the impeller went and it wasn't pumping water and just overheated, because the whole top of the engine was like sort of browny colour, where it looked like it had got hot. Oh, and also I noticed the wire from the stator plate comes down the side of the engine, all the plastic sheeting that was melted as well. Let me see if I can find it and I'll show you. Right. Change the stator over, but yeah, if we look down there, see the cable, the plastic's melted, and I presume that's right down there tucked in the bottom, and that's up against the cylinder. So I reckon that possibly impeller went and wasn't pumping water and just overheated. Everything got really hot, hence why the plastic melted, and probably heat seized in there. But I think we'll know. I'm probably going to have to take the bottom of the gearbox off anyway, so I'll check the impeller and I'll report back to you then to see the findings, if it's mutilated the impeller or not, or if it's just badly worn. But hopefully that was a problem and we can overcome that and we'll get a new impeller for it. I got one of the carbs out, the ultrasonic cleaner. I used white vinegar in there, and I couldn't get the emulsion tube out of there. I'm not sure they come out, but I didn't want to go forcing it. But you can seal the holes in there anyway, so you know, it's not as if you can't get to it. So I put the whole carb in there anyway, and I just reassembled the float chamber and screwed the air jets in the top back in, the air pilot holes in the top, and I'm going to screw the mixture screw in a minute, and cleaned up all the butterfly and blew it all through an airline afterwards. So I'm going to reassemble this. When you do the float bowls on these Mariners, Mercuries, you've got the drain plug, and in there you've got a main jet, which obviously is sealed in there, so that's where it gets the fuel from. It draws it in through there and then it sucks it up. So if you've got a bike that won't, we'll talk about a bike, if you've got a boat that won't start, then it's been left standing for a long time, it's possible that that main jet could be blocked. And it's probably quite easy to get to with the carbs in situ. If you took off the drain plug and then get like a small bit of wire, copper wire or something like that, and just poked it through, you'll probably get it running again, and the fuel running through it will probably clean the rest of it out. But yeah, it's just a little, I think it's 12mm brass screw or a slight head screw you can use, and undo that and then poke something real fine through there, or some needle jet files, which hold on one sec. You can get from any welding shops, and they're for cleaning nozzles out and welding torches, but they're really fine. But you just got to watch you don't start reaming out the jets, because you will eat through the brass in no time at all. But so it's just basically to poke the carbon out of there, or the varnish from stale fuel. So you can get a set of them only about £2.5 I think from eBay. They're quite handy for poking in little holes. So the other two are cooking nicely in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm going to be assembling them in a little while, so I'll get these carbs back together. Right, I've reassembled all the carbs, apart from this last one. Just want to show you why it's important to put the ultrasound in. You can see them tiny holes through there, and also there's two there as well. So you've got them three there. Got like the main pilot one there. See through there. As I say, you've got holes in there as well, which come through. So they're the two that suck straight to the top. I can open that up. You've got other really fine holes. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, at the top there. Spin this round. Can you see them back there? Yeah, that's better now. So focus. Yeah, you've got other air holes there, and they all act for the venturi for sucking the fuel through. So obviously when the butterfly opens, then air rushes through and it just draws fuel up from that tube there. It's a emulsion tube, and which was the main jet, which I showed you in the float bowl. So that draws up through there. So you've got the other air mixture ones, and just ratioing the air coming through them tiny little holes, they all come through, and you've got the mixture screw on the top which comes through there. So you'd never get a wire through there to clean them little holes out. So that's why you have the ultrasonic cleaner, and they say after about 20 minutes of a bath in hot white vinegar and the ultrasound on there, that'll just, any loose dirt or varnish or anything that's stuck in there, that'll just pull it through and it'll clean it all out. But what I got 4 there, if anyone's thinking there's 4 carbs, only 3 come off. This is off the 50. So basically it's the same carb, but if you look at the body of it, can you see that lip there? So it's like a restrictor in there. I'm not sure you get it out. You could probably pull the emulsion tube out if you could, and the other tube, you might be able to ream it out. But that's the difference between the 50 and the 60. See, that's the 60, look at the opening there. And look at that one. It's quite a difference. I'm told it's just the carbs, could be wrong, just the carburetors that make it 50 to 60 horsepower. As I say, there's exactly the same block, same CC, but just that big restriction in there, which is quite a lot. Okay, I'm going to clear up now. Time to pack away.